All right, baseball fans, welcome back. Yesterday's MLB slate, wow, it left us with a ton to unpack.
It really did.
We've been digging through the games, looking for those hidden threads, the surprising turns, and we're excited to share what we found with you today.
Yeah.
Our mission on this deep dive, it's basically to give you a shortcut to understanding Thursday, June 26th, 2025. Because, well, it was anything but predictable.
Absolutely. Yesterday on the Diamond was kind of wild ride. A real collage of unexpected results, some really emphatic statements. It reminded us why we love this game.
Right.
We saw, everything from these huge displays of power to games that were just razor thin, decided right at the end, pushed teams to their limits.
So what are we actually getting into today? Well, we're going to try and go beyond just the box scores.
Right.
We'll look at the teams that really flex their muscles, the surprising performances that maybe hint at a changing tide, and just that sheer unpredictability that keeps us all hooked. We're going to try and distill what these results really mean, for the season's narratives, especially with October kind of looming out there.
Yeah, that race is definitely heating up.
Okay, let's start with the teams that, well, absolutely asserted their dominance yesterday. You look at powerhouses like the Dodgers, the Astros. They didn't just win, they made a statement.
They really did.
The Dodgers, for instance, they handed the Rockies an 8-1 drubbing in Game 1 and then closed out the doubleheader 3-1. Pretty solid.
And what's fascinating there, it's not just the scores. It's the way they did it. That sustained offensive pressure in the 8-1 game.
Yeah.
They weren't just hitting homers. They kept extending innings. They had like an 80% on-base percentage with 2 outs. That's incredible.
Wow.
Just relentlessly putting runners on, turning singles into big rallies. It speaks to a deep lineup,
Yeah.
Disciplined, they grind down pitchers.
Yeah.
It's not just waiting for one guy to hit a bomb.
That's a key tactical strength for sure. And then the Astros. Oh, they just seem to find ways to win, don't they? Even against really good teams, even when runs are scarce. Swept the Phillies in their doubleheader.
2-0 first, then a real nail-biter, 2-1.
Against the Phillies, no less.
And what's impressive there is the pitching. Consistent execution across both games. Really exceptional command.
What do you mean by that?
Well, they were throwing strikes like 68% of the time in the zone, but they only walked 2 batters across 18 innings.
That's control.
Exactly. That kind of precision forces hitters to swing off at pitches they don't want, and the Astros defense just eats it up. It's classic championship stuff. Great pitching, solid D, and just enough hitting when it counts.
So less offensive fireworks, more tactical masterclasses and run prevention.
Precisely, yeah.
Okay, speaking of making statements, some other teams really delivered yesterday, kind of signaling their potential, maybe.
Yes.
Take the Texas Rangers. Kicked off their series against Baltimore with a huge 7-0 shutout. Now, beyond the score, what did you see tactically? Could this be a turning point for them in the AL West?
Well, it wasn't just a shutout. It felt like a statement about a refined pitching approach. Their starter really worked the edges, especially with the slider. Lots of soft contact, 12 ground ball outs. And against the Orioles, a team known for power.
Right, keep it on the ground against them.
Exactly. It completely neutralized their big bats. That shows a tactical maturity. If they can keep that up, yeah, that could absolutely carry them deep into October.
Interesting. Okay, over in the National League, the Yankees, they left no doubt against the Reds, 7-1 win. Their offense looked, well, totally revitalized.
It did. And it wasn't just the number of runs, it was efficiency, capitalizing on chances.
How so?
They hit 4 for 7 with runners in scoring position. That's way better than their season average.
Big improvement.
Yeah. They seemed patient early in counts, then aggressive when they got their pitch. That selective aggression, it suggests maybe the lineup is finally clicking, understanding its identity.
Finding their groove.
Yeah, exactly.
And then the Chicago Cubs. Wow. They just completely dominated the Cardinals in that NL Central rivalry.
Oh, man.
8-0 shutout, Game 1. Then a 3-0 shutout to complete the doubleheader sweep. A double shutout against your rival. That's monumental.
Monumental is exactly the right word.
Yeah.
Shutting out any team twice in one day is rare.
Right.
But against the Cardinals, that sends a huge message. Their pitching staff combined, 21 strikeouts across the 2 games.
21. Wow.
just relentlessly attacking the zone, frustrating those hitters, that kind of pitching consistency, that can lift a whole team, whole season. It's more than just wins. It's psychological, real blow to the other side.
Yeah, you can feel that momentum shift. But okay, not every game yesterday was a blowout. Some were just cage matches, decided by a single punch or maybe a quick counter punch. Those split doubleheaders really show the league's competitiveness, like the Guardians and the Blue Jays. Cleveland just edges out Toronto 5-4.
Tight game.
And then the Blue Jays turn right around and shut them out 6-R in the second game. What does that immediate adjustment tell you?
It tells you everything about the chess match, doesn't it? That Blue Jays adjustment was pretty remarkable. After a tough loss like that, their pitching in Game 2 clearly shifted strategy.
How so?
Probably focusing more on disrupting timing, maybe more off-speed stuff early in counts. And their offense, after getting stifled, they jumped on new matchups. It just proves, no game's a given. Teams can learn and adapt fast, even within hours.
Yeah, that's impressive. We also saw the Oakland A's get a 3-0 shutout win over Detroit in Game 1,
Right.
only for the Tigers to totally flip the script, and an 8-0 shutout win for them in Game 2. For the A's, what does that first win, even with the loss after, tell us?
Well, that A's win, even though they've struggled, it highlights that individual brilliance you can still get from anywhere. Their starter in Game 1, he mixed his pitches really well. Fastball, cutter, got weak contact, quick outs. That's promising individual talent, right? But the Tigers' response showed their resilience too. They really jumped on the A's bullpen in Game 2, hit like 5 for 9 against the relievers, turned it into a rout. It's just a reminder, even teams lower down can still pack a punch.
Absolutely. And the Twins had a strange day, too. A really tight 2-0 shutout win over Seattle in Game 1.
Good pitching duel.
Followed by just an offensive explosion. They blew out the Mariners 10-1 in the second game. How do you explain such a dramatic swing like that?
Yeah, that's a big swing.
Yeah.
It often comes down to pitcher matchups, and those immediate adjustments. Again,
Right.
in that first game, the Twins' pitching was just exceptional. Their starter had a career-high 10 strikeouts, really used his splitter effectively, kept Seattle guessing. Then Game 2, different Mariners pitcher, and the Twins' bats just seemed to, wake up, found gaps, took advantage of some early walks. It suggests a lineup that can be quiet, but when it finds that rhythm, look out. It really ignites.
Okay, finally, let's talk about the Miami Marlins. Because they delivered a really impressive doubleheader sweep against the Giants.
Yeah, that was something.
Won 8-5, then 12-5, scoring 20 runs across 2 games against a quality team like San Francisco. That's got to be a massive confidence booster, a real emerging narrative, maybe.
I think so. And this wasn't just like hot bats. This felt more like a tactical offensive awakening from Miami.
What do you know?
Their plate discipline seemed way better. They drew 10 walks across the 2 games. Forced Giants pitchers deep into counts.
Okay. Patience.
Right, that calculated patience. It often leads to better pitches to hit. And you saw it in the results. Their average exit velocity on batted balls was up nearly 4 miles per hour yesterday.
So they weren't just hitting, they were hitting it hard.
Exactly, squaring up those pitches. If this offensive firepower is, sustainable, it could absolutely push them into contention, maybe disrupt things in their division.
Interesting to watch that. And quickly, the Tampa Bay Rays always seem consistent, right? Kept their strong season going. 3-0 shutout against the Royals in Game 1.
Yeah.
Then completed the doubleheader sweep, 4-0 in Game 2. Same formula.
Yeah.
Strong pitching, timely hitting. It just keeps working for them.
It really does. The Rays just exemplify fundamental baseball executed at a, really high level. Their bullpen was particularly sharp yesterday.
Yeah.
Combined for 7 innings, only gave up 1 hit across both games.
Yeah.
Protecting leads with just surgical precision. It speaks to their depth, their strategy, how they manage pitching. Really effective.
So as we kind of wrap up this deep dive, looking back at yesterday, it was truly a testament to why we love this sport, wasn't it? Just such a diverse range of outcomes. Really underscored some key narratives for the season.
Absolutely. We saw those powerhouses, the Dodgers, the Astros, really asserting themselves, not just big wins, but grinding out the close ones too.
Yeah.
Sweeping doubleheaders against good teams. That speaks volumes about where they are right now, their postseason hopes. They're just finding ways to win, adapting, executing.
And then you had those really commanding performances, the Rangers, the Yankees, and especially the Cubs.
Oh, yeah, the Cubs.
Those decisive wins, particularly that Cubs double shutout against the Cardinals. Powerful statements. Those are the kinds of things that can really define a team's path, right? Give them that unshakable confidence.
For sure. But we also saw that beautiful unpredictability, those split doubleheaders,
Mm.
proof that no game is ever a foregone conclusion.
Never.
Teams adjusting fast, getting revenge, sometimes within hours, shows that resilience, the strategy involved, every team has a shot any given day.
And finally, that really interesting story emerging with the Marlins. That sweep, the offense waking up 20 runs.
Yeah, a huge confidence boost. Could they actually shake things up in their division?
Yeah.
It's possible.
So yesterday's games just gave us such a rich picture of where the league is right now. Dominant pitching, offensive fireworks, late inning drama.
Everything. The race for the postseason is undeniably heating up. Every single game matters, adds to the story.
So the big question looking ahead is, what's the lasting impact of these moments? How do these teams adjust moving forward towards the playoffs?
Right. Will the dominant team stay dominant? Will those statement wins translate into consistent performance? And what new stories pop up from all this unpredictable chaos?
It is certainly going to be fascinating to watch unfold.